What's up, Chaz?
Not much. How you doing today?
Oh man, I'm hanging in there, man. I see you still want to talk about what we talked about last week.
Yeah, of course. Week two. Hopefully, we get a lot of comments like we did, and it makes the time go by. But this is a good topic, and I'm ready to get started on this.
Okay, then, without any further delay, let's talk about what we're going to talk about, which is liars, 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 part two. Chaz, why do we have a broadcast about liars, man?
It's taking over society, and for number two, a lot of us as human beings, we use this as a weapon to get over on people, to steal from people, or just to basically make people look bad or hurt someone's character. So it's important that we talk about it because without it, it's just like we're looking past an issue that needs to be discussed. So it's important that we discuss it.
Yeah, and I want to add to that, we have to discuss it because so many of us are liars. I mean, some of it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, we just lie through our teeth. We don't have to, but we keep doing this. So we have to try to at least talk about it so we can let people know that we're on to all of us. And this is a serious problem in the African American community. And
Right.
so we must talk about it because last week we can review just a little bit and we'll get right into it. But we talked about why adults shouldn't be habitual liars. I mean,
Mhm.
Chaz, we should be a lot of things, but we shouldn't be habitual liars, should we?
No, we shouldn't. And like I said last week, it's to a point where some of the people who know us, coworkers, relatives, friends, neighbors, when you bring your name up, they kind of look sideways and like, yeah, I know such and such. And then they're like, yeah, that person is a liar. And
Mm,
that's a
mm,
bad
mm.
spot to be in when the people that know you are calling you that. And then it makes it also terrible, too, to the point where when people ask you things, they don't trust you. They're
Yup.
always second guessing. They're checking behind you. You don't want to
Yeah.
be in that kind of spot.
And a lot of people don't even want to fool with us because they know we're known for being liars. And that's something that you shouldn't want to be known for. And that's to be liars because we're too old for this mess, Chaz. When are we going to grow up? When are we going to settle down and just be honest and quit lying so much?
Well, it's not. And once again, this is how I know it's not going anywhere. Anytime society, there is people who are addicted to these scams where we all have been affected by it one way or another. You lay your credit card down or you misplace your wallet or what have you. And these guys are coming up with creative ways on how to get in your wallet without physically getting in it, but they're getting your credit card, running it up. They're
Mm-mm.
going to certain stores, running your credit up. And you look in the mail and it says, for example, Brother Jai has a bill from Best Buy for over 3 grand. And it's like, you didn't do that. So somebody went in there and did that.
And
It's
lied. They lied.
ridiculous.
Yeah, they lied on you, man. Even these stores, when you people call you and they tell you if you buy something, this is what you're going to get. So you spend your money thinking that you're going to get what they said, but when you get it, it's not what they said. So they lied to you. So it's nothing but liars, man. Let's welcome the people that welcome us.
Okay, we got Sister Barbara Fies in here. She says, Hotep Kings, we appreciate her. Nuji's in the building. She says, peace and blessings, family. We appreciate you. Sister Marie's in the building. She says, Hotep Kings. We appreciate her. And just real quick, if I can, I just want to say one last time about these scammers. That's how I know for a fact this is not going anywhere because even people, if you tell them what you do in the black community only, from what I hear, you tell them, what do you do for a living? Oh, bro, I scam. People are dapping you up. They're high
Yeah,
fiving.
yeah,
And this
yeah,
is something that's
yeah.
praised.
Yeah. That's true, Chaz. And even in our own families, the lying has got to stop. But let's take it from here as you read this, and we'll get right into it.
Okay. On the screen, it says more reasons that many adults give as to why we lie so much.
All right, here we go.
Number 11, status fronting. They want you to think they are more than they are. So they lie to themselves to make them feel good. For example, you go to HEB or CVS, you run into a relative and they say, what do you do now for a living? Such and such. You say, well, I'm the CEO of
Yeah,
Dodge Chargers, or I
yeah,
work
yeah.
for Louis, Gucci,
Uh, uh,
or Prada. You don't
uh-huh.
have to say it. Just tell them
Right,
what you do.
right,
But see,
right.
when we tell these things, we want people to raise us up on a higher level. Well, it's
Uh-huh.
not about that.
Yeah, that's true, Chaz. I'm glad you hit that right off the bat because some of us can't be honest with ourselves. We always want people to think more of us, and even in my family, I had uncles, and people that I know. They always wanted you to think that they were doing something, but they really weren't. But let them tell it, they were always in the know. They were always on top of the mountain. They were always, having people say their names like they have something going on. And this is how many of us are, Chazz. We want people to think we're more than we are because of low self-esteem. See, the esteem is so low. So now we want you to think more of ourselves than we ought. And this has got to stop. We don't have to front like that, but we constantly do.
Number 12, embellishment of the truth. So many people lie to make the truth seem more than what it is. Now, I'm looking on my little notes that I got here. Most of the reasons why people do this, they're looking for attention. That person wants to appear interesting, and they're adding details to make it seem like like they're inside of the know. They're getting this inside information, or they're getting something that the public has no access to.
Right.
It's not about that. Tell the truth and be upfront.
I know, and this is what I hate. If let's say Junebug, for example, that's just the name I'm throwing out there. Let's just say Junebug broke his ankle. And we see him and we say, hey, Junebug, how you break your ankle? Now, he basically fell and broke his ankle. But let him tell it, man, you didn't hear about it? No, what happened, Junebug? Man, I was running. I jumped over a fence 7 feet high, and I somersaulted. And then I came down in an awkward position. But you should have seen me, man. I was running on that broken ankle, and I was running faster on the broken ankle than I do when it's not broken. See, these are just lies. We gotta stop this stuff, Chazz. And see, it used to take a person to get drunk. They say when a person gets drunk, they like to lie. But we don't have to get drunk anymore. We don't have to smoke dope anymore. We just lie through our teeth because we want to embellish the truth. We want the truth. Now, it is that the man broke his ankle. Right. But instead of him just saying, man, I failed, I misplaced my footing and I failed and I broke my ankle, he's going to tell you some things that's going to make himself look good as how he withstood the pain and how he drug to the hospital and all this old kind of stuff, man. This is nonsense. This is ridiculous, Chazz.
And I just add real quick if I can, and I don't condone violence. I don't condone fighting, but as growing up, people will say, for example, did you see such and such get in that fight? We didn't see it, but they talk about it as if he had blood coming down his mouth and the paramedics couldn't patch him up from bleeding. And then you see that person a few days from now, you say, well, what happened to you, bro, in that fight? And you look at them, their face isn't black, their eyes aren't busted up, and it's like, well, somebody was lying here.
Yeah, it's too many of us liars, man. But we have something that I want to put on the screen, and this is this right here.
Sister Dee says, hello, everyone. Hey, Dee, how you doing?
Yeah. All the way in Indiana, checking out Adults Only, because we're talking about a serious subject. Chazz, we have too many liars. Older people are lying. Middle-aged people are lying. Younger people are lying. Toddlers are lying. Even babies are lying when they're coming out their mother's womb. And we have to address this. Now, I'm being facetious, but we really have to address this, Chazz, because that's something that we shouldn't be dealing with, but we do. Go ahead.
Just real quick, if I can, before we move to the next point, you hit on that we don't really talk about, for example, a kid. Subconsciously, even though they may not come out and say that I'm lying, but they know when they're lying, when they get busted, for example, going in the kitchen, getting cookies or chips that they shouldn't be, and the parent asks them, didn't I tell you not to eat those cookies? The cookie crumbs are all over their lips, and they have chocolate all over their mouth, and the parent asks them, and the first thing they start doing is probably they're going to start crying or they have some kind of look on their face. That's subconsciously telling them that they know what they did was wrong. They know that they lied, but it's just funny how as a kid, like you mentioned, it's subconsciously, when you're lying and telling the truth.
Here's the note on here I need you to read. Here we go.
Sure. Some people will even get angry when you don't believe their foolishness and their nonsense.
Yeah, Chazz, this is crazy because sometimes when a person tells you something and you tell them, I don't believe that, they get angry with you. They get angry with you because you say you don't believe them. See, they want you to, especially when what they're saying is nonsensical and far-fetched. And so if you say, well, I just don't believe that. They have an attitude. You don't believe me? You said, no, I don't. And they don't want to speak to you. They act funny because most of us, we always caping for people. And so when we get back to the situation where people get angry with us, they're mad because we don't believe their lies. And some of this stuff, Chazz, these things that they telling us, these are lies. And instead of them saying, you know what, I'm embellishing the truth, they get angry when you don't believe it and fall out with you because you don't believe the lies that they're saying.
I just take it a step further, brother. When they say that where people are getting angry at them, people take things in this life so personal. They feel like you're attacking their manhood, you're attacking their womanhood, and they feel like since you're not agreeing with them, you're calling them out, so to speak. When that's not what's going on, but that's why people do feel angry and upset when you don't believe them. And sometimes you can smell it from miles away when someone is up on foolishness, and it's like, I'm not going to be a fool and believe your story.
My mother used to call people like that lies all the time, especially when they tell a bold-faced lie. She would say, you are a lying crock or you know what. And it was doo-doo, but we would replace the word doo-doo for the SH word. You're lying sack or you know what. And this is what many of us are. We're liars, man. Right. Sister Dee Dee said, not toddlers and babies. She's laughing, having fun with that because we know that it's just getting bad, man. Sister Zuri tells Dee Dee hello, and then we go back and forth, and Dee Dee says, that used to be me at Bob's. Yeah, because we used to lie. In other words, she's telling when she used to go to the store and we would give her money. This is my niece in Indiana, and this is her on the screen now. She would get something from Bob's and steal something. And we would ask her, how do you still have that money? And she would say, I know, I found this money, but she lied. She stole it. And she's coming clean because that's how it is, man. People don't want to tell the truth. Every one of us are liars, but we don't want to come. Our kids are liars. Our grandkids are liars. And we just don't want to ask ourselves, when are we going to grow up, Chazz? When are we going to grow up? Okay. When?
I'm sorry to say this, brother, but I think with this lying thing, we're not. It's just going to be a process until we pass over and go into the casket because it's too far gone. And I think people are what you would call, they love the lie. They love to do it. And I don't think they have plan on stopping anytime soon. Number 13, exposure. Many people, many people lie because they have been exposed. They don't like being found out, so they lie. Yeah, and it's bad now, brother, with social media. When a video gets uploaded to someone doing something that they shouldn't be doing or in a certain area that they shouldn't be, and the first thing that they're going to say, oh, that wasn't me. Oh, that's just somebody that looks like me. No, that was you. So they're lying to try to cover up for what they did, or they're trying to cover up an image that has now been brought out on social media. Now people are just saying, you know what? Instead of me telling the truth, I'd rather just deny it, and hopefully that it'll go away.
And this is what I don't like when it comes to us adults. I don't like this part because when we're supposed to do something, and I hinted at it last week, but I'm going to go in on it now. When we're supposed to do something and we don't do it. In other words, we procrastinate. And somebody asks us the question, why didn't you do what you say you were going to do yesterday? And instead of saying, you know what? I just didn't do it. See, now you're exposed because you were supposed to do it yesterday. So instead of being honest, you're going to lie and say, well, you know what? Somebody was real sick and I was up all night. But we know that you're lying. So they don't want to be exposed, just like little kids when they get caught. A lot of times we ask these kids, why did you do this? And a kid is going to lie because they're young, they're immature, they're childish. But these grown, you know what, adults, acting like kids, lying instead of being honest because we procrastinate, most of us. And instead of being honest and say we didn't do it, we always come up with some kind of excuse, well, why didn't you show up on time? Well, I lost my keys. It's always an excuse, man. And I'm getting hot when we talk about this because we got to stop this dumb stuff, Chazz. We really do, man.
And I want to just ask you real quick before we move on to the next one. Why do they get, I'm talking the person who gets exposed, why do they get angry instead of just saying, you know what, that's it? They get angry and they start calling you names and fight back.
Because they think they're perfect, Chazz. They think they're perfect. They think they don't make mistakes. They think they can't come clean. They don't have values. They don't have discipline. They don't have what it takes to say, you're right, man. I'm wrong. No one likes to say that anymore. Everybody likes to lie their way through life. We lie every time you turn around, somebody's lying. We lie to authority. We lie to ourselves. We lie to our family. We lie to our friends. We lie to our coworkers. We lie. And most of us that's watching this broadcast, we're all liars. But instead of us coming clean and saying, hey, I need to clean up my act. We're going to always think stuff is cute and funny and talk about other people when we are the very problems that we're talking about, because we're liars, and your kids are liars. My kid is a liar. Your nieces and nephews are liars. Your grandparents are liars. Your mama's a liar. Your daddy's a liar. Now, and people don't want to hear this kind of stuff because we live in this fantasy world, Chazz, where everybody wants to think that we're okay, and we're not. You know, these family members are liars.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good little rant. I didn't know if you want to move on to the next one. It was supposed to be, I think, on number 15.
The fear of consequences. We didn't deal with this one yet. The last one we did, yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, fear of consequences.
What you got in that cup, man? What you drinking? Some yak or something in that cup, man?
No, brother, I slipped up, made a mistake.
You got some dope or something in that cup? Come on, Chazz.
I made a mistake, but this one on the screen that says fear of consequences to avoid punishment or negative repercussions. The first thing that comes to my mind is the legal system. We lie to these cops, and sometimes there are times where we aren't doing anything, but for the most part, a cop is hiding in the cut. They catch you going 70 and 30 miles an hour. Oh, officer, I only was going 20. Or, for example, when you get pulled over, you got dope, you got ecstasy pills, you got something in the car, and the first thing you say, oh, officer, these not mine. Well, yeah, they are. I mean, nobody's just making stuff up about you. And then when you lie, you think that you're going to get away from authority. In fact, it's going to make the situation 30 times worse.
I told you last week about my little thing I went through as a boy when I used to urinate in the bed and I got tore up. I would lie all the time to my mother, and I can't let it go. She said, did you pee in that bed, boy? And I said, no, mama. And I would put the sheets over the pee, you see. And then when she would sit in the bed or put her hand in that wet, boy, she would whack me upside my head to let me know you didn't have to lie to me, because I was scared, man. But if I had come clean, maybe I would have got a tongue lashing. But see, when you lie, even in relationships, that stuff is terrible, man. People don't know how to come clean because it's too many liars in our homes, in our neighborhood. And so this is why we have to deal with this, man.
We got a comment on the screen. Sister Barbara fires in here. She says, the old folk back in the day would say, you're a lie and the truth ain't in you.
Well, if that's the case, the truth ain't never been in many of us. We're too old to be acting like this, man. We've got to stop this nonsense. It's too much going on in our world today for us to be liars. We can't. Chazz, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Whatever happened to me asking you a simple question? Now listen, this is nothing big, just a simple question. Chazz, where are you going today? If I see you in passing, and instead of you saying, I'm going home, I'm going to do this, why do you have to lie to me, man? I don't get that.
I'll just say it, brother. We are engulfed in this. We're invested in it. It's all in our pores through all these years.
Come on, Chazz. Come on, man.
No, I think so. From the age of maybe 5 or 6 all the way to 40s, 50s, this is all we've been doing. This is all the way we've been living. So now it's so deeply rooted in us. Now it's just coming out easily. Like you said, you ask a simple question, where are you going? Instead of me saying I'm going to work or I'm going home to get some sleep, we're going to tell you that we got this important business meeting to go to, or I'm going to go meet the CEO for this new Dodge Camaro. I mean, stuff like that. And once again, it's so deeply rooted in this, brother. That's why it spews out so easily over things that shouldn't be lied about.
We live in a nation of lies, and we're liars. When we meet each other every day, what we say, how you doing? The next person say, oh, I'm doing good. I'm fine. But we're not, because you got high blood pressure. You're not fine. You're stressed out. You're not fine. You know, I have anxiety. I'm not fine. You know, I'm eating so much salt. I'm not fine. You know, I can't walk. I can't run 2 blocks because I'm going to pass out because I'm not in shape. I'm not fine. I'm not drinking enough water. My urine is yellow as gold or yellow crayon. I'm not fine. But we lie. How you doing today? I'm fine. How you doing? See, those are just things. Instead of telling the truth, I'm not fine. I'm messed up inside. You see, I have a problem, and we don't want to come clean like this. And this is why we are the way we are, because we don't want to tell the truth. And a lot of us have gotten, like you said, it's in our pores. It's gotten so bad now where that's just the way of life now. That's what you got to do now. If you don't lie, you ain't nothing. If you don't lie, what they say. But this is
Right, and you see how twisted society is, and you are right about that. If you ain't lying, then you ain't hitting on anything. That's the mentality of America. This is pathetic.
yeah.
You got a new one on the screen. Number 14, usury. They're trying to get over on you so they will lie. Yeah, and it's called being untruthful. For example, and I said this a couple weeks ago. If you have something like cutting someone's yard and there's an elder, instead of when they say, "Well, how much would you charge me to do this yard?" The yard, brother, is probably $10 worth, the front or maybe the front end back because they got a small yard. Instead of saying, "Ma'am, sir, you know what? I'll charge you, 10 or 15 bucks." You know that they got money. You know that their so-called first of the month check is kicked in. You know that they're weak. You know that they're gullible. You know they're naive. So you look at that elder and say, "I'm going to charge you $75 for all this." And you have no conscience. You go to bed. You don't even think twice about it. You think to yourself, "I got me one," or I screwed her over.
This is how we are, Chaz. We lie to each other to get over. It's something that I want from you, so I'm trying to get over on you. I might say, Chaz, I like those glasses, man. Those the best glasses I've ever seen you in, man. You must be taking care of yourself. All alone, I want to borrow $50 from you. See, so then the next time I see you, I'm like, "Yo, Chaz, you got $50?" You go, "Yeah, I got it." Now see, I buttered you up, you see, and so now you happy because I've given you those compliments, you see. And this is what happens in relationships. People want things from other people, so they butter them up, make them feel good. And this is all like your Mother's Day, Father's Day, all these holidays, all these lying days. There's no such thing as Santa Claus, but we lie. January the 1st is not the new year, so we lie. This is really not the year 2024, so we lie. There's no such thing as an Easter bunny, so we lie. There's no such thing as a Valentine's Day, so we lie. So we just lie so much that it's in our pores, as you said. I got to stay on that. And it's a shame that most of us don't want to stand up and work on that so we can be better people, because it's just too many liars. And this is why these people are hiding behind their phones, because no one is saying what I'm saying. I'm a liar. And I have to work on that. Now, I don't mean habitual, but I know that I lie. So I have to work on that. So when someone asks me something, I must tell the truth. But see, a liar will say, "He ain't talking to me." But you're lying, because we are talking to you, because we all are in that boat. And this is what the hypocrite does. They want something from you, Chaz, and instead of them asking you and you saying yes or no, they're going to butter you up or say something to make you feel good so that you can give them what they want. That's the oldest trick in the book, man.
Yeah. Sister Barbara comments on the screen. She says, "Deal with this, please. Usury."
This usury. Yeah, okay, well, let's stay on this a little longer, because we do what our guests say. Let's stay on this a little longer. Usury is a subject in and of itself that we need to do something on. There are too many people in this world that's always trying to get over. I mean, they're like hound dogs, sniffing, trying to find somebody to get over on. Usury is a problem. It's very problematic. But see, in the African American community, we don't like to talk about lying, usury. We don't like to talk about values, because, as you said earlier, this thing is all in us, you see. And we don't want to come clean. We want people to think that we don't need anything, and we do. We want people to think that we know it all, and we don't. We want people to think that our lives are so picture perfect, and they're not. But yet, this is what we're trying to do. So usury is a part of the scheme, man. Usury is like, I got to get you first before you get me. See, if you loan me $50 and then you ask me when I tell you, I'm going to pay you back next Friday. When next Friday comes, I see you coming. I'm trying to turn the other way. But you finally catch up with me and say, "Hey, big brother, when you going to settle the score?" And instead of me being honest and saying to you, "Brother, I am so sorry, I don't have it," I'm going to say, "I was going to call you, Chaz. Because you know what? Somebody stole my wallet." See, all this dumb stuff is what we do. This is because we are a rotten group of people, many of us. I know we're working on that, but a lot of us think we're good and we're not. And so we're always trying to use people. So I hope that's sufficient for the sister, because we have to talk about usury, because that's a problem in our community.
And if I could, I just want to add to that, to my elders, the older people. There may not be elders that are watching this, but this is to them. I feel sorry for them. Some
Watch
of
out.
them have dementia. Some of them have Alzheimer's. Some of them have health ailments to where they can't make correct decisions, or they on medications 24/7. They're not always sober, so they're not up to date on these scams and these schemes. And they're the ones. And don't get me wrong, if a 30 or 40-year-old person gets scammed, that's okay. I mean, that's wrong. But when the elders are highlighted, think about it. They don't know about this technology. So when they get these phone calls, they're accepting anything. They're saying yes to all these text messages. And these scam artists are taking these elders to the cleaners. I feel sorry for them because they're at the front line of being scammed. And brothers, some of them, they can't help it because of the medication. And I said this earlier, the drugs that they're on, their dementia. And these people are, they're getting taken to the cleaners. And I feel sorry for some of our elders.
This broadcast can be seen every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. The brother you see that's not talking now is Chazz. I'm your big brother Jahi. We're talking about liars, liars, liars. This is part 2. These are the reasons that people give, that we give as adults, as to why we lie. They're not legitimate, but we're going over them. This is the 15th reason that many of us say that we lie. But Chazz, what does this say?
Fraudulent wording. Many of us lie to our children knowing that we're not going to do what we promised them. For example, I hate saying this, and I said, and I don't want to sound like a broken record. I've said this before, and this one really burns me up because these people who celebrate Christmas, we ask them, well, why do you celebrate Christmas? And we say, I'm doing it for my children. Oh, I'm doing it for my kids. To get them presents, to tell them that Santa Claus came on this reindeer and this roof and this chimney. This is nonsense. And
it's a lie, Chazz. It's a lie. You're right.
We sit up here and we tell these kids that, Santa gave you this. You've been a good boy all year. You keep it up, he'll do this for you next year. Brother, as adults, this is what we're telling these kids. And they don't have any brain. They don't know. But the point is, we're lying to them. And then when they find out, they get angry with us. And then we have to lie again because we're constantly just covering up for all these tracks.
Yeah, like you tell a group of kids or you tell your children, we're going to go to the zoo. And you don't have any intention on going, neither do I. We just say that to get them out of our hair for that moment. And then when the day comes and they ask us, aren't we going to the zoo today? Well, no, mommy or daddy had this come up. And then they ask us again, are we going to the zoo? Then we say, get out my face. See, we're angry because we said something that we knew we had no intention of doing. This is also in relationships, Chazz. This is in friendships. We have no intention on doing what we say. And this is why our world is as terrible as it is, because most of us know that we're liars and we don't want to come clean. We don't want to watch a broadcast that's teaching that we got to stop this nonsense. We rather watch somebody shake their you-know-what. We rather watch somebody play a guitar. We rather watch somebody foam at the mouth and swing from the chandeliers, go to a building every Sunday talking about how good they are. We rather talk about Uncle Jocelyn and all these spiritual connotations we rather talk about Allah and all these things. See, this is why I know that we're in a bad way. And most of us are sick here. And we don't want to accept the fact that we are frauds because we know that we don't mean on doing what we say we're going to do. And yet we say it anyway. So in other words, we lie through our teeth, man.
Number 16 on the screen, ego boosting to enhance their own image. Their own image or self-esteem. Yeah, ego boosting it, brother. And I have to say this once again, it's at an all-time high on the internet, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all these apps where their egos, you could constantly see where their egos, where they're telling you, I have 139,000 subscribers. I have so much money in the bank. I have a Rolls Royce when I leave this. All these things to boost their self-esteem when it's not about that. You shouldn't be telling people what you have. In fact, be quiet, shut your mouth, and let life speak for itself. But we always have to boost our self-esteem by putting others down as well.
Liars.
Look at you. You ain't got this, so you ain't got that.
It's
a terrible spot.
We have low self-esteem, so we need to pick us. We shouldn't have, but those of us who have low self-esteem, we want to make ourselves appear to be a little bit higher than the next man or the next woman. So if you do 2, I'm gonna do 4. If the next man does 6, I'm gonna do 7. If someone does 8, I'm gonna do 10. Well, you see, like what? And this is how sick we are. One dude told me one day, man, you know what? And we were eating. He said, man, you know what? I I ate like 15 tacos. You know, he was boasting. And so I said, well, you know, I'm gonna do 16. So it's like we're trying to,
I
that's
remember
stupid.
that.
That's gluttony. That's retarded. But this is the kind of people that we're dealing with because we're liars, man. We're liars because we want people to think of us as a movie star or a celebrity. And so our kids see this, our grandkids see this, and all of us sit around the house and we know that we're liars and we don't want to say, you know what? I'm gonna start telling the truth. We should even correct these kids. When these kids start lying at a young age, just bring them to you and tell them that's not nice. You know, you shouldn't say that. That's a lie. But what we do, we pat them on the back, give them a high five, and say, boy, you just like your so-and-so. And that's dumb, man.
It really is. Sister Sharon comments in the
What's
building.
up?
She says, "Hello, family. Hey, Sister
What's
Sharon.
up, Sister Sharon? Yeah, she's been on the hyenas for a while, you know, but I'm glad she's back because she's always got something to add to the conversation. But we're glad you're back, Sister Sharon. We missed you, you know, but I'm glad you're back. But here's what she says now.
She has a comment on the screen that says, I was old school taught. Mom and daddy, Santa Claus. Yeah, and she's probably talking about that rant that I went on about this Christmas stuff, brother. We have to nip that in the bud.
But Chazz, you're it's not, and you're right, Chazz. It is. That's the biggie. But it's not just the Christmas stuff. I'm telling you, it's the Mother's Day, it's the Father's Day, it's the Valentine's Day. You get your mother, and I get my mother something, and all of us get our mother something on so-called Mother's Day. But for the rest of the year, we don't think about them. We don't cherish them. So we're liars. We don't cherish our fathers. We don't cherish our sisters. We don't cherish our brothers. So we're liars. So it's not just Christmas, although you're right. That's the biggie. But we lie on Valentine's Day. Oh, baby, I love you. Here are some flowers. And yet we're not even communicating with them. Oh, I'm going to be with you to the end of the world. But yet we're not really serious about what we say. We've got to stop this dumb stuff because we're liars, man.
Number 17, manipulation to control or influence others' actions or decisions. We want to be in control of others, so we lie. I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, because most of us as human beings, we always want to rule over people. We rule over our kids. We want to rule over our mates. We want to rule over our coworkers. We want to rule over our friends. And so we manipulate them. So what we do is we manipulate their actions or decisions. Now, I could tell you something like you say, Brother Jai, I'm going to dive off this swimming pool in this water and I can't swim. And so just to control you, to show these other people that's with us, I might say, Chazz, you know what? You ought to do that. Now, I know you can't swim. I know you're going to mess yourself up. And instead of me saying, and all them other people are saying, yeah, Chazz, do it. See, and you already getting ready to do it. And I know it. So I want to control you. So I'm going to tell you, yeah, man, go ahead and do it. You know, are you a mouse or you a man? Are you a punk or you a chump? And so you go and do it and mess yourself up because I wanted to control you. I'm telling you, it's in relationships. It's in everywhere, every facet of life. We want to control other people and we don't want to be honest about it. And this is why men and women get into it often because the man want to control the woman want to control the man, and the relationship is going south of the border because nobody's coming clean and saying, hey, hold on for a second. You're your own person. I'm my own person. Let's try to talk and work through this thing. No, they want to be in control. Well, you know, what time you coming in? At 7?
Yeah.
But when you go out, you don't want to tell nobody what time you coming in because you want to control them. And these sisters and brothers on this broadcast, they know we're speaking the truth about these lies, but yet they don't want to say anything about it. Just like our grandkids, we are spoiling them rotten. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't do stuff for our grandkids. All of us should. But when they start lying, we should check them, Chazz. We should check them, man.
Absolutely. Sister Marie Fives in here. She says, Santa Claus. I know who put my bike together.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Kids have to find out, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. She has a previous comment. She says, I do not recall my parents talking about Santa Claus. I knew who put my bike together. Okay, I see what she's saying.
Yeah. And you know, it's a thing where, Chazz, a lot of us as adults, man, we're playing too many games, man. Here's a good one right here.
Number 18, cover mistakes to hide our errors or our failures. Yeah, and brother, we all are human. We all make mistakes, but I think we're always trying to cover up for it because we want people to think we're invincible. We want people to think that we got it all together. We want people to think that we're just on this level that we've mastered some level that's almost unbreakable. And when we make a mistake, they think or we think that makes us less of a man or less of a woman. And it's not about that. When you make a mistake, let it be known. You don't have to always, hide or cover for it. But once again, when you constantly are hiding or covering,
lying all the time,
you're making it appear that you're bigger or greater than life, basically.
Like they say, man up or woman up. But here's this one here, number 18. A lot of people have gotten killed by this lie, Chazz. This covering their mistakes. Let's say I give you $300 to work on my car. Now you a jackleg mechanic. You don't bit more know about working on cars than a man in the moon. But you lied to me and told me you're going to work on my car and you're going to fix my car. So when I put my car in drive, instead of going forward, it goes in reverse. So you messed up my car. And I come back and say, Chazz, this car ain't running right. And you say, oh, Ian, don't worry about it. I did what you paid me for. So I know you did me wrong. So I need to get a get. I shouldn't. But my mindset, I got to get a get and even a score because you got over me.
Come on,
you took my money, man. And so instead of you saying, I didn't know what I was doing, you told me you fixed my car. And therefore, you have to pay for that. And the people on this broadcast, they know I'm telling the truth. This is just, this example is far-fetched. But you know when somebody's lying to you and they're covered, instead of saying, Chazz, you say, Jahi, can you put this together for me? Whatever that is. And I say, I'm sorry, man, I don't know how to do it. But because other people are around, I want to appear to be intelligent. Oh, I know what I'm doing. And then when I mess it up and you say, man, you messed it up. Instead of me saying, I shouldn't have done it. I'm going to say, well, I didn't take my medicine and, my mind was not right.
Come on, brother. Come on now.
It's always an excuse, Chazz. I'm telling you, man. It's always an excuse.
Brother Ray fires in here. He says, "Hey, good people, good evening. What's up, Brother Ray? How you doing?"
Yeah, Brother Ray, he coming to the party now. The party is almost over with, but yeah, he coming to the party now, and this is what's going on.
Yeah, Mashana comments on here. She says, "Grand GP standing for Grandpa, you stupid." LOL.
Yeah, because it's true, and we know when somebody. Okay, take this for example, and I'm gonna leave this alone. You pay somebody to cut your hair. Or a woman pays somebody to do her hair as a beautician.
Right.
And they pay this person $100 and something to get their hair fly. Right. They don't show them the mirror till they turn them around. Right. When they turn them around in that chair and that hair is whack, that person is paying that money. That person is even when you get a haircut, you said, I didn't ask you for that. You lied to me. You said you were one of the dopest barbers in the city. And you screwed my hair up. See, this is what I'm saying, man. And we know this is true, but we front so much, and y'all know what we saying is true.
Absolutely. Sister Sharon fires in here. She says, I dated a clown like that. Got rid of him. Wow.
Yeah, this is true. That's what happens to a clown when you don't do right.
Wow. Brother Ray fires in here. He says, tired of grocery shopping.
Okay, so we're gonna let him chill tonight, and we're gonna let everybody else carry the show. Let's go, Chazz.
Catch it on playback, Brother Ray. Number 19, financial gain. To get money from others, knowing we're not going to pay them back when we said we would. I'll even take it a step further. We even play on their emotions. We may have more than $5, but we'll come to that person saying, I only have $5 left to my name, bro. And I promise you, on August the 29th, I'm going to pay you back. Now, for example, you're not going to pay them back. And even some people are getting wise where they're getting burner phones, where you call the number on August the 29th looking for the money. I'm sorry, this call is no longer in service. So it is all these games that we're playing. We know we're not going to pay these people back, even with our bill collectors. They call us, we recognize the number, and they say, sir, when can I expect this payment? Well, I'll pay you August the 24th. You know you were not going to pay them back. You know when they call you back, you're going to get more angry because you had no intentions of paying them at all. So what I would say, that's my best way of describing financial gain on this one.
I have nothing to say, Chazz. You stumped me on this one. I would not say anything on this point. I'll go to the next one.
Laziness. To avoid tasks or responsibilities.
Chazz, please let me have that. Please let me have this one. Okay. Chazz, this here, I've been waiting on this one all night. I promise you. I've been salivating for this one to come up. Chazz, and I'm speaking with my heart now. A lot of us are lazy. In other words, we don't want to do what we have to do. Something as simple as calling somebody or doing a task that needs to be done. We're lazy, Chazz. And then when we get confronted, we get angry because we don't want to do the responsibilities that's up to us. See, there are responsibilities with men and women. And because we don't want to do it, we sit back and we procrastinate and we wait and we wait and we wait because we don't want to take on the responsibilities that we're supposed to do. And this is what is killing me with adults, not children. I keep giving kids a pass because they're still young and dumb and full of bubble gum. These kids are growing up. They still haven't learned. I'm talking about grown people, man, I'm talking about us. We are liars, many of us. And we don't want to do what we're supposed to do. So we lie, man. Why didn't you get up and cut the grass, Jahi? Well, you know, my big toe hurt me. It wasn't hurting me last night when I was at the club thumping and bumping and carrying on like that. See, or drinking and jangling. You see, because that was a responsibility that I had, but I didn't want to do it. So I was lazy. Instead of being honest, I avoided it. And Chazz, these things, they've got to stop, man.
Or even, I would take it a step further real quick. I would just say procrastinating, where, like you said, with the grass. So I'd get it tomorrow, and then it rains tomorrow. Or even if it doesn't rain tomorrow, you just keep kicking the can down the road. You have no intentions on doing it. So you just let it just stack up. And then when people check you on it, you get angry. I'll move on quickly to number 21. Envy, to detract from other success. For example, a man could have a brand new promotion at his job, or get a brand new car, get a brand new house, or even just get a pay raise at this job, and we say, "Oh, he ain't doing nothing. He gonna get his car repossessed in 2 months. You just watch. Or he behind on his child support. They gonna come and get it from him." I mean, these are things that people say when you see others getting a little bit better, or even I'll take it a step further with relationships. When someone moves on and they get a better looking person or what have you, they'll say, "Oh, she gonna leave him in 2 years." These are the things that people are saying to say, you know what? I'm happy for that man. I'm happy for that woman. They got a new promotion. They got a better house. They got a better paying job. We always tear them down. Or you see what his kids wearing. His kids ain't had a shower in 2 months.
Wow.
This is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, you're making some enemies tonight because you're putting it out there. Tonight's broadcast on Adults Only is liars, liars, liars. We're saying that all of us, the African American community, we've got to stop this nonsense. We're lying too much, y'all, and we've got to just at least get it out in the open, because a lot of us lie because of envy, Chazz. We're envious of somebody else. And instead of saying, you know what, Chazz, you got some nice shoes, man. Those shoes are nice. You sure doing your thing. Instead of me saying that, I'm going to twist my nose up when you walk by and say, man, them shoes, and you got them shoes from Walmart. You know, something like that. I got to try to make myself look good. Or you got a nice suit, or you got a nice home, or you got a nice mindset, or you intellectual, or you're a business person. Instead of saying, Chazz, you got it going on, man. Your business acumen is great, man. I'm learning from you, man. But see, we want everybody to think that we know it all. But I'm really envious of your success. You just brought a brand new crib, almost $300,000 or more, and it is laid. And you show me, and I'm liking your face, Chazz, this is beautiful. And as soon as my friends call me and say, what does the N's house look like? I'm going to say, man, that little old matchbox, man, that little old matchbox, because we're envious, and we're too old for this nonsense, man. We really are.
Absolutely, absolutely. Number 22, deflecting blame, to shift responsibility onto someone else. Yeah, it was us, for example, that wrecked that car. It was us, for example, that didn't show up for work. It was us that did not do what we were supposed to do on the job. And we're always saying, well, the previous employee didn't do it. They had me do it, so that's why I didn't do it. Instead of being a man or a woman, we love to blame others because I think we lack accountability. We hate to be
that was heavy, Chazz. That was heavy.
We hate to be accountable. So with that being said, that's why we're always shifting the blame. We're trying to make others out to be the bad guy, when 9 times out of 10, it's us. We're the ones that are not doing it.
I'm going to tell you something that I noticed too, with my friends and family, and even myself at times. Nothing is never my fault. Everything is always somebody else's fault. It's always someone else that's at blame for something. It's never my fault. Instead of me saying, I'm the one who did that. I
Right.
take full responsibility. Whatever my punishment is or whatever my consequences are, then I must deal with that. I'm always shifting the blame to somebody else. I'm always trying to cape for myself to make me look better so that somebody else can be the fall guy. You know, I'm always talking about it was somebody else did that. And see,
Right.
even in Christianity, and I'm not knocking Christianity because people are beautiful. There are beautiful Christians. A lot of times they say this, the devil made me do it. You are a
Right.
liar.
With them demons.
You are lying through your teeth. No devil made you. You did it because you wanted to, and I did it because I wanted to. But see, we're shifting the blame. And
Right.
this is why we can't have these discussions with African Americans who are supposed to know better, because we don't want to stop and take time out and sit back and reflect and say, I have a problem, and that's with my lying, and I've got to do something about that.
And I was just going to take it a step further. First, Sister Maurice's truth. Okay. But I was just going to take it a step further. Like you said, the devil made them do it. Then they're even cutting it in half now, brother. They always talk about these demons. These demons made them do this.
Yeah,
These demons made them do that.
yeah, that's crazy, man.
Brother Ray Fires in here. He says, once a time a barber was cutting my hair and he had jokes for me. So I out-joked him and he messed my haircut up.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. I believe it. See what we're dealing with? See what we're dealing with?
Sister Sharon Fires in here. She says, we should always uplift each other, the good or the bad. We should. Brother Ray fires back at us. He says, envy is more dangerous than jealousy. Brother Ray also fires in here. He says, in the Western societies, they brainstorm to blame. In the East, they brainstorm to find solutions. The devil within.
Well, Chazz,
Yeah.
this is really something, man. Now here's one I know you want to talk about.
Number 23, covering addictions to hide substance abuse or other addictive behaviors.
Chazz, this is another one I've been laying for. Please let me
Okay.
have this one. I don't jump out like this all the time. And I'm not talking about the addictions that most people think I'm going to talk about. I ain't talking about alcohol. I ain't talking about cigarettes. I ain't talking about dope. I ain't talking about booze. Let's say, for example, I have a problem with sugar. Me. Because, see, we're addicted to other things. See, we keep giving these addictions a bad name, because addictions is not just alcohol, cigarettes. Some people are addicted to lying. But we have addictions in our own lives, and we don't want to come clean. For example, I'll take me, for example.
Okay.
If I have an addiction to sugar, see, we don't like to talk about that. And I tell you, Chazz, I'm going to stop eating that sugar. I'm going to clean my life up. And I say, Chazz, whenever you see me with something sweet, why don't you tell me so that I can, I just help me out when you see me. You go, just be my accountability buddy. You go, okay. So you see me with a Hostess Twinkie, and it's as sweet as it is, and I'm getting ready to bite it, and you say, Big Brother John, I thought you were going to stop doing sugar. I'm going to cuss you out.
Yeah.
They, like the dope thing, he'll say, don't tell me when I'm doing something. And when you do it or when you hide it, I'm going to say, Chazz, you see my Twinkie? You're going to say, I hid it because I didn't want you to have it. Then I'm going to go off on you, but I'm the one said I was going to stay from sugar, see? So we like to cover our addictions. Why are we doing this? Why are we always hiding our abuses, our substance abuses, or our addictive behaviors? Because we're not honest with ourselves, man. And that's what's wrong with the world today. Most of us don't want to sit down and look in our hearts and say, I need help with this issue. So we're addicted and we don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, and a lot of us, we've covered a video on this prior. We've covered our cell phone addictions. We cannot let these phones go. And I even told you that it's a time to where if you have a family, if it's you, your wife, and your kids at the table, do a study, gather the phones and say, you know what, for dinner tonight, we're not going to use these phones. And if that were to happen for a few days or what have you, people are going to be angry. They're not going to really want to talk. They're going to really be eating fast so they can hurry up and get to the phone. And on top of it, they're going to have withdrawals, because without these phones, brother, it's like, and this is just me personally, and then I'll get back to the topic. I think these phones have destroyed us with these addictions so much that we cannot even make basic conversation with people. These phones have destroyed us so much that we don't even know how to go up to a person and just have a basic articulate conversation with them, because these phones, of course, with the radiation is tearing our brain cells up.
This is true, Chazz, and it's not the youth only. So let's not, and you didn't say this, but I'm saying this. It's not just the youth only. It's these 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90-year-old adults who are addicted to these phones. They got to have it everywhere they go. They take it to bed. They wake up with it, just like they got to have it. Like they talk about an alcoholic who he got to have a drink or she's got to have a drink in the morning. Well, what's the difference? You got to have that phone. And some of them is so bad with it, they get up and go to the bathroom, Chazz, at 3 in the morning. If they'll take the phone with them, and while they're in the restroom, they're on the phone, man. They're on the phone. This has destroyed us, and we need to revisit that one time because I think we've been letting people off the hook with these phones, and these are adults, not these kids. I'm talking about the adults.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Number 24, personal beliefs. Many lie because they believe that the end justifies the means.
Yeah. It's basically what I'm saying is this. If something happens in your life and you know that what you're doing is wrong, but whatever you do at the end, everything came out all right. So the end justifies why you lied. So they say, well, I had to lie because if I didn't lie, I wouldn't have got this loan, or if I wouldn't have lied, I wouldn't have gotten this girl because, I told her that, I've been to 7 universities and I got my doctorate degree. I'm using big words and she likes that, you see, and I got her, see, even though I lied, I got her because I was cool with my lingo. This is the kind of stuff that we're dealing with, man, because most of us don't realize that our personal beliefs, those things that we believe, sometimes, Chazz, those things are not right. They're not. I don't know everything. See, but we think we do. We live in a country that makes us think that we have it all going on when most of us are struggling in every facet of life.
Choice. Most of lie because we want to. Yeah, most of it we do. We aren't lying because it's a lie, which you shouldn't be lying, but we're not lying because it's a life or death situation or someone has a knife to your chest. You're just lying because you just flat out want to. And once again, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, it's so deeply rooted and engulfed in us that it's just leaking out of us, left, right, up, and down. Everywhere you look, we're just lying, and we can't control it. And when someone calls us out on it, we get upset, we get defensive, we get combative, we want to fight back. And it's just out of control, but most of it is because we do want to, brother.
Yeah, and see, we'll watch the Olympics, and that's fine. We'll watch sports, and that's fine. We'll watch entertainment, that's fine. We'll watch a movie, that's fine. But we don't want to watch anything that talks about how we're liars. See, we're liars, man, and this is why we are having the problems that we're having. Because when you lie, and when I lie to other people, that's terrible. But most of us, as I said last week, we have lied to ourselves. We have lied to ourselves. And that's the biggest problem that we have now. We actually think we're somebody that we're not, Chazz. And that's called a self-delusion, where you're thinking you're someone that you're not, but you actually believe that you're someone that you're not. And this is why a lot of us lie, man.
Number 26, jealousy. Some of us lie because we're jealous of someone. So we lie on them. Yeah, especially their character. We make up something like, say, for example, we have a friend that we've been running with for 13, 14 years. And he may, like you said, get a nice lady or get a new car, get something nice. And we'll make up something and say, now I'm throwing this out here, but he used to be addicted to heroin. Things that just make him out to be a bad guy because we don't like seeing someone else accomplish more than what we have. We feel like if someone else has the leg up or better than us in life, we feel like that makes us out to be weak or chumps, and it's not about that. And I've seen that, and I'll pass it on real quick, to where people are just making up all kind of lies. Look at these Dr. Phil shows. Look at these reality shows. Some of them just making up anything just to slam a person's character and to make them out to be a demon.
Chazz, let me ask you a question before I chime in on this jealousy. What has happened to us as a people that we just cannot see ourselves for who we really are? Why do we have to go through all of this stuff, like we're talking about lying and all that? Why can't we just be the person that we really are and work on ourselves? Why do we live in a reality life type of mindset? Why do we have to be like this? And I'm trying to figure this out, and I think I know the answer, but I just wanted to ask you, why can't we just see ourselves for who we really are?
Because us as the people who live in the United States, we've been indoctrinated by the TV and the magazines and the music and the sports and the politics, all these things. And I hate saying this, these things have really screwed us over. These people who
Whoa!
sat back in these meetings, these people who sat back, people me and you will never see at Walmart or CVS. These people are so rich, we'll never see them a day in our lives. But these people sat back and purposely brainwashed us because they knew they brother, and this goes deep. They even did tests on rats. They did tests on mice, and that kind of gave them some kind of a prediction of how the human mind would react to the same scenario. But the point is, that's why we are like that, because of the entertainment and the politics and the sports and the rap. All this stuff, brother, has really brainwashed us. So in a nutshell, because of the TV.
That's the most profound thing that I think you've ever said on this broadcast. You may not ever say anything that profound. That was beautiful, Chazz, because the Eurocentric indoctrination has done its job on us. Even when it comes to education, most of us think we're educated, but we're miseducated. Most of us think we're successful, but we're really unsuccessful. And most of us lie all the time because this is what we have been taught. This is our way of life. This is our way of thinking. We lie because we're jealous of other people. With all the stuff that's been put on us, you would think African Americans, we would stick together more. We will be more inclined to work together. But we're so jealous that a lot of us lie on other people because we're jealous of them. And these are the discussions that we need to have more of. But unfortunately, most of us rather watch Steve Harvey, Family Feud, the $10,000 pyramid, or $20,000 pyramid, or whatever it is now, soap operas. We rather watch things that's going to really dumb us down than to help us out, because we don't like to be challenged, Chazz. And I think that's another reason that we're liars. We don't want to be challenged because we are afraid to see who we really are. And that is, we are people that we all need help. We need help, man. That's all I'm trying to say. All of us.
Number 27, Spike. Trying to get even or revenge on someone, so we lie on them. I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times people do things to us, and instead of us being honest, we lie on them because we're angry with them. And instead of us saying, you know what, so-and-so didn't do that, I did it. We lie on them because we're angry with them, and this, you know, we're trying to get even with them. And then when somebody gets hurt, if they hurt us, then when they get hurt, we laugh because we say that they ain't got what they deserve. So it's like we are a sick group of people. Not all of us. I'm saying many of us don't want to work on our problems. And one of the problems that we have is that we lie too much. And instead of sitting down and saying, I'm going to be a better person, we jump on this broadcast, we jump off of it, and we don't want to be faced with the challenges that's before us. And that's why the society which we live in, man, is just it's too bad. It really is. It's very bad.
Brother Ray Fires in here. He says, I have never been jealous of people who have things I don't or making more money than me. I'm happy for them. That's good, Ray. That's rare though. Most people aren't like you though. They have some kind of ego to where when they find other people have more money than them or have more material, they feel less than a man, less than a woman. It's not about that. So in your case, Brother Ray, that's good. I applaud you for that, for having that kind of mindset where you're not jealous, and neither am I. I mean, if people have things, it's just material and it's not that deep. So it's really not.
Yeah, what it is, man, it's we're dealing with people. We're dealing with a lot of people that's got problems internally, and instead of working on ourselves, we're just always looking out. So when I look at my own life and say, hey, I have these problems, that's why these broadcasts are therapeutic for me, because we're not just talking to other people, we're talking to ourselves.
Right.
But a lot of people don't want to face the challenges that life has. And that is, we have to overcome lying. We have to overcome that. Whenever somebody gets an opportunity to speak, just tell the truth. Even if it's something as simple as, is that all you have? 50 cents to your name? Yeah. That's all I have right now, 50 cents. But see, we'll say, no, I have 50 cents in my pocket, but what you don't know is I got the big bang no, we don't have that. It's okay, because that doesn't make you. Listen, your material possessions do not make you. But in America, as you mentioned earlier, America has taught us that we have to go through this world just as liars. Our grandchildren are liars. Our children are liars. Our relatives are liars. Our nieces and nephews, our family members are liars. Our aunts and uncles are liars. Many of our parents are liars. And so the TV we watch is nothing but a lie. So we live amongst nothing but lies. And at some point in time, someone should want to say, I'm done with this. I don't want this anymore. I don't care what. And see, don't run to a building to make us think that you're not a liar. Because a lot of people go to church and they're the biggest liars there are. A lot of people run to the mosque. They're the biggest liars you see. A lot of people go to spiritual meetings. They're the biggest liars you see. So that doesn't help us. We have an internal problem. And I'm telling everybody now that we've got to get serious with our own selves, because that's the problem. It's not so much everybody else. It's us, because that's where it starts, man. And until we basically deal with ourselves, we're going to continuously be the liars. Our kids, these kids are growing up seeing us lie every day, man. And so they do the same thing when they become young adults, when they become old adults, when they become senior citizens. And so this is what we're seeing. This broadcast can be seen every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. You would think that people want to tune in so they can look at some principles that can help us, as opposed to always playing games, tricking themselves, thinking that we're somebody that we're not. We're liars. Let's be honest. As a group of people, we're liars. And we've got to stop this, Chazz. And so I'm saying I appreciate doing this broadcast with you tonight, brother. Sister Shonda, she says she won't tell bros, meaning she wants us to believe in peace. And Sister Sharon says, thanks, family. And they're just firing away. Sister Barbara says, great podcast. Because, Chazz, people realize now that we're getting too old for this, man. We're too old to be acting like this. So I'm going to let you take us home because we're over the time now. But we thank all you who watched this broadcast. And next week, we're not going to tell you what we're going to do and the subject. We'll just come back, invite a friend, and let them know that we're practical. We're very practical. We're not going to lie to you and tell you that if you touch a screen, you're going to get blessings. We're not going to lie to you. We're not going to take your money. We're not going to tell you that everybody's doing fine. We're not going to tell you that this world is great. We're going to be honest with you. And that's what we need, more people to look each other in the eye and say, hey, we got a lot of work to do. So take us home, Chazz, from here.
I want to say I appreciate all the viewers, Sister Sharon, Brother Ray, Shonda, Sister Barbara, Sister Marie, everybody. Sister Dee Dee, if I forgot someone, I apologize. But you guys know who you are, who viewed this broadcast, who stood with us for an hour to listen to us give some good information. But tonight's broadcast was very lethal. It was about lying. How to stop lying. Why are we lying at an alarming rate? What made us lie like this, starting from a child? And how lying plays along in other parts of life, where we're lying to get things from other people. We're lying to tarnish someone's legacy or their character. We're even lying to ourselves sometimes, like you said earlier. We think that we're in a successful state. Some of us are not. We're just lying left, right, up, and down. We're just lying so much that people don't even trust what we say anymore. And that's sad when you can't even tell someone a story and they don't even believe you. They're triple checking. They're quadruple checking. They don't believe you. In fact, they don't even want to be with you. I hope that we can do something to stop this. Hopefully, and this is no knock to anyone, myself, everybody. We all lie, but we must clean this up immediately. I appreciate you, brother, for having me on, and we'll see you guys next week.